Don't worry, that was for a different project. This is today's project. There we go. All right, our good friends over at Airthereal. Come here, chair. Need you later. All right, our good friends over at Airthereal have got us something new to play with. It's going to require a can of propane, some batteries, some lack of safety on my part because that was going to happen regardless. And then we get to play with a portable shower, basically. It's a portable water heater with an attached shower nozzle. It's for RV camping. I'm going to use it for not the intended purpose, like I normally do. Now, there's some safety stuff we're going to get into so we don't accidentally blow ourselves up or catch ourselves on fire. But for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty safe. And from what I've seen so far, it's a pretty good product. But we never know that until we actually get in there. So let's get started. Let's see what we got. Well, first and foremost, I'm liking the fact it's blue. Let's get this thing out of there. Let's do this the easy way. Okay. Oh, I think the easy way is the wrong way. Jesus. Oh, that hit the router. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Okay, what do we got going on here? Awesome blue box, which I'm on board for. Frankly, if I was going to buy one, I would have bought that color. Comes with all the hardware you would need to actually install it. Let's see if there's any other goodies in here that I missed on first inspection. Yeah, okay, that is too pretty for you guys not to get a close up. We're going to move over to the other location.
Okay. Alright, everybody. I honestly really like how this looks on the inside, so don't make fun of me for being so easily impressed. But it's beautiful and blue! It is very beautiful and very blue. Okay. Take that completely off. Alright, what do we got here? Alright, looks to be pretty simple. Radiator up top. So I'm assuming the fire is going to be in here somewhere. It's going to heat up, basically work the reverse of a computer radiator. The fire is going to heat up the air is going to heat up the radiator is going to heat up the cold water that's flowing through here, and it's going to come out and spray you. I think I may have thumped this whenever I was taking it out. It happens, and it looks like it tanked it pretty good, like that's not going to cause any lack of function from it, so I mean that's good. Alright, now let's look at what we got here. On the front, we've got two settings for what time of year it is, either summer or winter, and that I'm assuming is going to control the upper limits of how hot we can get, how much water you want to have in there, and how hot you want to have it. The how hot is called gas, because this is going to be gas powered, and I want to pretend that this is like a car. Vroom vroom. The water speed is just labeled water, and the seasons doesn't need a label because winter and summer are pretty self-explanatory. You have a digital readout for the actual temperature of the water coming out. Some warning stickers I will attempt to look at later. We all know how my brain does, so if it doesn't happen, we know why. Alright, down here we've got our water in, water out, our gas inlet, and ooh, what's British? This connection is for low voltage battery only. Do not connect to 120 or 240 volts. Yeah, so this is how you turn the entire unit on, and it's literally just a socket for those batteries I bought. It is literally just 2D batteries. Slam them in there the correct direction, close it, you turn it to off. I don't know why, but whenever you turn it off, I guess it means off, you can't open. The ability to open it has been turned off. The ability to open it has been turned on, and I can do so. I don't like that, but considering it's the first thing I found in here I don't like, we'll not let that count too much against them. unless you find a bunch extra. Okay, some more warnings. Don't over tight. Use 2 wrenches to tighten the connection between the gas regulator and gas fittings. That's actually good advice because you want to have counter torque whenever you're working with anything like this, so you have control over it. You'd be surprised how many things don't warn you about that because they just assume you know. I'm glad they are anticipating stupid people because I am one. All right, we're on to the back. Oh, and before I forget, the reason this thing only needs 2 double D batteries is it's only used to ignite the fire and control the electronic circuit in here that it can't be using more than 5 volts. Either way, very small power demand on this. You can get double D rechargeable batteries and hook that up to a solar panel. You don't need to hook up to a grid at all for this. Now, back to what I was talking about. Nice little hanger. You can literally just hang it by this on anything that has that much material to it and can handle its relatively lightweight. You know, air vents on the back because this thing requires a good airflow. More information and warning and blah 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 on how you're supposed to be using this. Let me give you guys a good look at that. More vents on the side. And check the last side. Oh, wouldn't you know it? More vents and more warning and information. But regardless, if this thing works the way I think it will, I'm going to absolutely love this, and this blue color is my favorite. Okay, let's do this one thing at a time. Alright, we are going to hold on that for just long enough to where you guys can pause and should be able to read it. If not, I believe they have these available online for you to look. And if not, we will be posting screenshots of this either at the end of the video or somewhere else, like Twitter or one of the other social media platforms. Or maybe we should just get around to making a site with Foursquare or something. I mean, I had one for that other thing. It wasn't that hard to make. Either way. Basically instructions. I always like the fact whenever they include, here's common problems and how to fix them in the manual. Not everyone does that. Not everyone does that. Alright. This is our little nozzle. Very similar to something you just have in a shower. And it's easy to disassemble and clean in case you get contaminants in there just from whatever water source you're using. Because we all know not every water source is filtered the same. And I like the fact it's a little simple design. It's got a little stop button. Stop, open. Huh, it is not working. It looks to be fine in there. Maybe this is one of those where it has to have water going through it. I will test that out later. And if they sent me a broken one, it's not hard to get these replaced. Every problem I've had with Airthereal has been fixed with a simple email to their support staff. Simple water hose. Y'all have seen them before. They connect the same way that the one in your shower does. Now this is actually your gas connection. So this is the thing you want to be careful not to accidentally damage, because this is going to be the difference between you having a really bad day and having a nice relaxing shower. Alright, and last baggie here, we've got what appears to be a quick connect. It's going to be pretty solid though. Mounting hardware, more mounting hardware, Teflon, a nice little attachment. You can put this, using the mounting hardware, onto a wall if anywhere that you're wanting to have this be a semi-permanent fixture. I like how they packaged it to protect the chrome finish. A lot of companies don't do that when you buy these little chrome finish things. I'll just come in plastic and pretend that's enough to be fine. Alright, little wrench, another wrench. This is the brass fitting that I was looking for, and what I was worried this was that they just made a plastic one. Now here's the brass one I was worried about. Okay, so we're good. Crisis averted, crisis of faith averted. All hail Airthereal and their engineering department, who is smarter than me. All right, so we're going to do a jump cut. I'm sure y'all are familiar with those from me. And the jump cut will be to me installing this thing.
Hey everybody, here we are on our outdoor set in the midst of recovery from a couple of weather events we had. We had some storms take down some trees and part of my fence. That's mostly been rectified. And then we had some major flooding happen that kind of kept any real work from getting done. But we're back to a point where we can get the outside set. It's going to look a little janky, but we can still get the projects done. And this product actually works pretty great for situations like that where you have some sort of weather event where you don't really have all of the normal things you would have for your comfort. The shower runs on D-cell batteries and propane. And you can have a shower as long as you have a water source. Even if your in-house gas and electric are off, you can still have a shower. Now, what it's actually designed for is for things like camping RVs, anywhere you want to shower where you have limited resources, but you still have some resources. I'm going to use it for that. I'm going to use it for cleaning up after working in my shed or working on an outdoor project that I don't want to take all that nasty stuff into the house for. I'm also going to use it to attempt to burn out or boil out the roots on some poison ivy that we have on our property. So we're going to attempt to hook this up correctly. Now I'm wearing orange safety shirt because we're about nothing with safety around here. Safety is now technically on the list. Still not number one priority, but at least it's on the list now. And with safety now being on the list, I'm going to take part in the antithesis of the time-honored tradition of ignoring the user manual. I'm actually going to read it this time before I get started. Also, I mean, it's dealing with combustible gas. Let's not kid ourselves that I might blow myself up if I don't read this. Only use in outdoor areas. Carbon monoxide hazard using this appliance in an enclosed space will cause death. Do not use in caravans, tents, marine craft, cars, mobile homes, or similar locations. You store this wherever you need to get it where you need to go. But to actually set it for use, it needs to be outside of your camper, RV, house, etc. It's versatile, but you need to be safe about it. First thing they want you to do is to use this to hold it in place so that you can mount these correctly, because they want you to use these as your permanent mounting, but you can just hold it from here and use that if you're only going to use it temporary. If you're going to have it as anything but a temporary fixture, they want you to mount it with these. Since this is going to be temporary, I'm going to move it to several different stations in the backyard. One to work with one of the projects I have back in the backpack property that I want to get cleaned up from before I go back in the house. And then its final resting place is going to be on the outside of the shed. And that's when we'll actually mount these. And if I get to that by the end of this video, or if that's going to be future, I'll show that to you guys. I'm going to go grab the hooks that I'm actually hooking it up with. Now I got these hooks for a couple bucks at Harbor Freight. They're a pack of 20 different ones. We're only going to use like one or two of them for this, and then, you know, it's always good to have these for other projects. I'm going to use this because it looks like it would actually give me the best hookup for this product. And if it doesn't work, we have other options, including just screwing it in the correct way. Relatively sturdy. They want you to put this on the hanger and then install the batteries, or install the batteries and put it directly on the hanger. It's time to upgrade my project cart. This thing's been useful, but it's been way too small for almost every project I've done. But I caught it on sale for like $29, so I mean it was worth it then. Right, let's get this all plugged up in there. Right. I'm not seeing a diagram. It doesn't have it on the actual product, but the diagram for the way you put batteries in is in here. I do like the fact they've got little clips that hold the battery in, so it's not actually held in by this. It's actually held in by the clips here to make it easier for you to get yourself set up and lock it in place. There you go. Now, I might go back and buy a stronger hook for that, but that one seems to be holding well. For being as cheap as it was, it's doing pretty good. Water supply is going to come straight from a normal, regular garden hose. We've got the adapters to make that work, and it's pretty straightforward. We're going to open up this pack of parts. They want you to run your water line to remove all contaminants before you hook it up.
So I'm going to go over there, run that water, get it cleaned out, and then we're going to attach it afterwards, but leave it off until we're told to turn it on. All right, we were able to get that cleaned off enough. This is going to hang out here. Yeah, it comes with two different types of adapters. So you can use a standard garden hose or a couple other different types of attachments. Or here's the garden hose adapter. One piece goes on your garden hose, and this piece goes on your actual kit. It's not saying we need Teflon tape for this, but we do need the rubber gasket. Also want you to make sure that the filter is in place. The filter, I came from factory, is in place, but the gasket's not, which means some of these little lovely things in here. It's literally just all about finding the correct one. If you're wanting to attach a standard garden hose, it comes with 3 adapters, one of which is a quick disconnect, and then these 2 brass fittings. This brass one is a 1/2 BSP female to a 3/4 GHT male, which should fit a male garden hose. Then you have this 1/2 BSP to 3/4 GHT female. It all depends on what garden hose you're using, but they give you the fitting that you need. Now, you can use these and other adapters to make it hook up to any flowing water you need. Just make sure the water is clean when it's running to the water heater, and make sure you have the right adapters. So all the adapters they gave us will take care of our specific use case, like everything I'm going to use it for. But if you've got something weird going on, you might need a couple extra adapters. If you're wanting to hook up your garden hose to this, it's relatively straightforward. They have a quick disconnect where this actually requires you to take off the factory hose connector and attach this to it and attach this to the bottom of there. Now, I've got no problem doing that if I was going to be turning this into only for this, but I use this garden hose for a lot of things. This does have the adapter to work with whatever end of the garden hose you need, and it comes with both a quick disconnect and brass adapters, both that can function as a 1/2 BSP female and 3/8 GHT male, and a 1/2 BSP female to a 3/8 GHT female. And basically what that means is you'll be fine if you're using any standard garden hose. You just might have to change which adapter you're using. For us, we are literally just using this one and making sure we have the right gaskets in there. All the gaskets are in there, but they're not kept with the actual fittings. I'm assuming that has something to do with the shipping process. So you need the one big gasket goes in there, screws on here. You got another gasket here that slots in right there. Then you screw it on, hand tighten it. You don't want to over tighten any of these things. And yeah, you can get away with tool tightening this part, but I don't want to tool tighten this unless I need to. I'm going to run a no fire test and make sure nothing's leaking. Well then, so it's definitely leaking, and it has turned itself on because it sensed that I had too much water. I guess we did need tools, which is the lesson we're going to learn here today. Now that it's been dried off both with cloth and with a little bit of time, we're going to go ahead and finish hooking everything up. And this shouldn't leak anymore, and even if it does, it should still be fine for our demonstration. If it does continue to leak, it means I need a new hose. It looks like that one's been abused a little bit too much. And if that's the case, I'm going to get a new hose before I actually use it on my day-to-day, but for demonstration purposes, we're fine. Next thing we need to do is hook up our propane. It'll also be incredibly easy, and this is the one they don't want you using any tape around. I was misreading earlier. Teflon tape for the water connection. All right, let's get this. Yes, out. All right, we are going to be using some washers on this. If you do a lot of work with propane, you know what I'm getting ready to do. We're literally just going to hook these 2 ends up. One to propane, one to right here. Make sure that whenever you're hooking up the one to the bottom of the machine that you use the 2 wrenches so you can have one to counter torque while you tighten the other side. And they want you to do the part, or they want you to do the connection that's on the product first, and the connection to the propane tank second. Flood just made all the mosquitoes super excited to do this. Want to use our nope. We're going to use this wrench for counter torque, this one for actual torquing it down. All right. According to that, this should literally be plug and play the same way you do with the barbecue. There we go. All right. And it's just that easy whenever you actually follow the directions. I sadly don't tend to follow them as often as I should. This goes like so to deflect away the gas from burning and to stop it from falling onto your radiator. One should be pretty straightforward. It's just like putting one in your shower. And it's a very simple shower head. You can get a better one if you want, but this is going to be more than adequate for what you're wanting to use it for. So like 90% of people. And the only place we should have to put Teflon tape is on the bottom end of the water outlet. And remember, if an idiot like me can make this work, even with, I'm sure you can too. So they give you this nice little thing where you can put it wherever you want, slots right in. Problem is it's not magnetic, nor does it have a quick attachment like a command strip. It's got to be screwed in. I'm going to hang that from there. They do give hanging hardware for this, but since I'm going to be moving around with this so much, I'm going to see if I can find like a magnet or a command strip that'll fit to that so I can just pop it down wherever I need it to be. All right, we are at the point of getting her started. You turn on the incoming water supply. Ensure that you have abundant water pressure between 2.2 and 116 psi. That's a pretty big range. Turn your water output device into the off position. Then turn the gas valve on the cylinder all the way open. If the smell of gas is detected, turn off the gas valve immediately. Set the burner power switch knob to the sun position. Set the water control knob to maximum. Set the gas control knob to minimum. Good. All right, so we're going to turn the water on and see how this goes. It's still leaking a little bit from the water hose, but everywhere else it's fine. Hose back on. That automatically ignites. And as you can tell from right here, it starts building up the heat, and you can change how much water and how hot you want. Right now it's putting up 99. Let's see what the full heat can do. And you can actually just hear that air rumbling. See if I can get you guys a better look at it. 104. Hopefully you can hear that roaring. And if we can get that temperature up a little bit, that'll be more than useful for shop and travel shower. And remember, if I was able to make it work, so can you. Coming out warm, about the temperature it's saying it is. It's set to max, but it's only sitting around 100. That's probably for safety reasons, if we're being honest. I wonder what happens if I switch it to winter. Oh, there we go. You switch it to winter, it looks like it overrides the safety feature, or at least changes the setting on the safety feature, so it'll go up a little bit hotter. But it's looking like it's only taking it from 100 to 109, and that safety feature's kicked back in. Yeah, so yeah, it's looking like all it does is change where the safety shut-off feature is. Yeah, that's still pleasant. Honestly, it's working pretty great. I'll probably have it set to the winter function all the time because I like my showers a little bit warm. But yeah, this is freaking working. I might clean off this area over here and make this the designated workshop location unless I have a specific place I want it to be. But yeah, if you've got a use case that needs a shower that's portable, or you're on the road a lot, or you go camping a lot, or you've got a workshop or garage of some variety and your wife or girlfriend's always upset that you're bringing in all of the ick into your house, get this and some extra shop rags. And between the two of those, you'll go inside the house, you'll feel better, and you'll be clean enough she's not going to murder you, nor attempt to murder you every time. Wash my bald head real quick. Honestly, wasn't too hard. Even with my general deficit when it comes to concentrating on getting projects done because of my ADHD and talking to the camera and attempting to explain something that I'm learning at the same time, I was still able to make it work, no problem. We're going to call that good. Oh, going up to 111. But it keeps going back down to 109. That safety feature, it's more than capable of going much, much hotter. So they don't want you to hurt yourself. This is actually really good because this can actually go more pressure. I've got it only at half pressure on the main cutoff, but this is more than enough to get your shower in. We're going to put that there. We're going to shut this thing down. Now back onto summer, so it's back onto lower level temp for the safety cutoff for the fire. Going to turn the fire down to minimum, and we're going to shut off the gas, and we're going to turn this to minimum. We're going to shut off at the source. So all in all, I thought this project was going to be a lot more difficult than it actually turned out to be, especially with doing it in the aftermath of those two weather events, one that caused trees in my fence to come down, and then by the time I finally had all that sorted out, flooding to happen. But This was relatively easy. I had a few bumbling moments. I'm probably going to edit those out. You might see a few bloopers. But it was relatively easy, and I can see this being very, very useful for a lot of different people. For me, I'm going to use it for my shop, but it's going to be amazing for a shop shower, or if I start going camping again. I stopped doing that a few years back. But if I go camping again, this is going to make my life easier. It's going to be way more options to still be able to get a shower. I'm not going to be limited to what facilities are available there. All I have to worry about is, can I get pressurized water, and do I have enough room to store this? And I'm good to go. Almost everywhere I've ever gone camping, even the ones that have very limited amenities, have those. Especially if you're going with somebody who has an RV, but not one of those that have a built-in shower. Like, I've seen plenty of RVs, especially the ones that attach to the back of a truck instead of being able to be driven their own, have a lot of amenities, but not an actual shower, but still had pressurized water. Perfect for that. You want to go camping with a tent, but you're going to a campground that has running water, but doesn't have a shower system? Perfect for that. You're a stupid tinkerer like I am, perfect for cleaning up before you go into the house. So my final opinion on this is amazingly great if it fits your lifestyle. If it fits mine, I'm going to love having it. And I hope you guys that have a similar use case or a use case that this will cover will buy one of these and love it too. If not, I understand because it won't fit everybody's lifestyle. But it will fit mine. I'm glad to have it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And that whole like, comment, and subscribe thing if you're feeling in the mood. I ended up liking it so much that it's now a semi-permanent part of my outdoor workshop. Outside of any other major projects where I will need it, it's going to remain here for easy access after doing any of my other projects. I like it that much. And with a couple of cheap hooks from Harbor Freight over there, we're good to rock and roll.